sorry. For number 1, the contract was deemed or was found to be or was said to be for deemed void, meaning, go back up here as far as void is an adjective, having no legal force or effect. The contract was deemed void when we learned it had been signed by a minor. And a minor, once again, you had a question about that, anyone under the legal age of 18. This is because you cannot enter into a contract. You have to have a co-signer who's 18 or older. And this came into effect when my oldest son thought, I'm going to go get my own gym membership. And I was like, well, have fun with that, 17-year-old. Wait until they ask for your permit or license. You can't enter into a contract. You absolutely cannot. So that one, by the way, is good. For number 2, when the conversation began to procure, which means get, into nothing but complaints about school and work, I tried to excuse myself from the conversation. Well, a conversation can't go get anything. This one is not good. When I said when the conversation began to get into nothing, you might have thought, oh, that sounds pretty good. But many people, many younger people, love to use get as a helping verb. And you can't do that. That's considered slang. So this one does not work. A conversation cannot walk into Steinmart and buy a quick outfit in 12 minutes or less, like I used to be able to do. Heck yeah. Number 3, I offered some...
Stacy.
Okay, this one's really hateful and it's totally wrong, but every once in a while I might actually do it. Number 3, I offered some hostile words of comfort to a friend in need. Okay, I'll take away... Oh, look at me! Oh my God, I actually did that. I'm so sorry. Okay. I'm just saying occasionally I am evil enough where I will do it, so let me take that away. Every once in a while, there's nothing worse than a needy person that won't stop. So I might get a little hostile with the needy person, but it's that words of comfort. All right, don't needy people ever get on your nerves? Be honest.
Yes.
Yes, particularly when you think they're taking advantage of you for being nice. I'm going to come at you.
Like if they're being like, if they're like,
yeah, I kind of feel like I'm getting scammed sometimes. So I need to get rid of the prep phrase of comfort. But 3 is so wrong. It's just so many ways it's wrong. Number 4, I apologize for my careless words and promise that I did not intend to inflict, and there's its direct object, it likes, pain on you. 4 is good. When I brought up the issue of what the theme should be for the homecoming dance at the student council meeting, I didn't expect it to be such a controversial object. Oh, amen, so true. Particularly with student council. If it's not their idea, it's not an idea at all. For real. Number 6, the images of, I told you to be careful with this one. The images of shelter animals who need permanent homes always dishearten me so much that I have adopted 6 pets already. Well, here's where someone who's not familiar with dishearten might use the old breakdown method of, okay, I see heart there, and I see dis, which means, oh, it takes away my heart. But the problem is it's heart 10, not heart. It doesn't discourage you, yeah? You're not like, oh, these stupid pets, and you turn the channel. You know what I mean? That would be discouraging you. It would encourage you. It would hearten you to go and adopt 6 pets. So that's why I was like, be very careful with this one on using context, because some people think, oh, it sold my heart, I have to go adopt 6 pets right away. But that's not what dishearten means. It means to discourage you to, no, I'm not giving that place any money. That's what it means.
Like who cares?
Right, who cares about animals?
If somebody dies, if some dog dies.
Well, just be careful and remember that dishearten means to discourage you. You want to be encouraged when you're helping animals or people. We felt in number 7 relief when we learned that the growth on my arm was not malignant and gross. There was a growth on your arm. Just
Deadly.
that one's good. And so therefore, the opposite of that would be benign. Number 8, although the two disagree on many points, they are always able to have spirited debates that stimulates others' interest rather than fighting with each other. And that's the type of debate I like, where you can still shake hands and be friends at the end. You just agree to disagree. I love that. Number 9, my little sister. Okay, I said I was going to argue with 9. My little sister acts like a buffoon. And some of y'all may have stopped there and said, perfect sentence. Yes, a little sister can, or a little brother for that matter, right? But keep reading. She acts like a buffoon when she wants a favor from me. Okay, I could see her annoying you until you say yes. But look at this. Suddenly being sweet and complimenting me nonstop. That's the no part. That's when she shouldn't be acting like a buffoon. She's actually trying to, as we say, pull a fast one on you. She's being all sweet. Did you know you're my favorite brother? You're awesome. You do this for me. So it's not a buffoon, but I get that we have some manipulative littles out there, be they boy or girl, brother or sister, who might find a way in a sweet complimenting you nonstop way and still act like a buffoon because they pulled one over on you. Okay? Y'all, little kids are getting smarter and smarter every day. It's starting to be a scary generation.
I am smart.
No, I will tell you, if you are under the age of 9 right now, you kind of scare me. You're one of the most threatening groups of people around.
My sister, come look at me.
They're scary.
Come look at me in second.
So that's why I wanted to stop for a minute and argue with that one, but it's still not right. It's not the intended use for buffoon. All right, so that means I have to like number 10. Most high school seniors feel that they are virtual, almost graduates already, and tend to slack off toward the end of the year. You call it senioritis. Yeah, as if it's a virus, where you're just kind of over it, you're almost at the end, your grades are pretty much set. Let's just, I don't know, have skip days forever. All right, there's what I liked, 1, 4, 5, 7, 8, and 10. But some rather controversial sentences, I'm just saying.
Does that happen to a lot of seniors?
Uh-huh. Many of them, unless you're a super nerd like me and you just want to get through and still get some money.
I think my brother's super nerd then. He's the smartest of the grade. Now to Macbeth.
Now to Macbeth, and it's been quite a while because I did not get to have class with you on Friday. Today is Monday. So we're going to Macbeth.
Macbeth.
By the way, Outsiders Test is a reminder tomorrow. Need to get your iPads. Don't run. Don't knock anything over. Very few of you in here at this point. Don't matter. Yes, sir. Okay, I know we're not to 23 because that's where we ended up today in the other class.
Back to the bath. Let's get it. Oh, my feet work really good on it.
Go to 16, please.
I'm doing it, babe. Wait, what?
16.
Scene 4, right?
Oh, boy.
No, I'm in scene 4. No, it's
Who is, excuse me, stop, please. No, stop. No, stop. Oh, hyper annoying voice. All right, who was, here's what I need. And I need for y'all not to yell at me all at once, please. Who's my lady Macbeth? Thank you, ma'am. So you're going to be starting for us first on page 16. Who is my Macbeth today? Okay.
What? You have to call Kelly.
Sona, you said you wanted to be something. What did you say you wanted to be? Banquo today?
I'm Duncan.
Okay.
I'll be, I have no Banquo. I'm Duncan.
All right, we should be good for a few pages. And what page was that again? Oh, darn.
16.
Thank you. I went one page too far back. So basically, what is it, Hampton?
Can I take a picture of the board?
Well, I haven't finished yet. And then I'm still teaching. So if you could wait, Hampton, that would be great. We tend to do that at the end of the day. It is not the end of the day yet. And you really need to pay attention to this because we're going to be at the end of Act 1 very shortly, and that means test. And that means before we have that test, I'm going to give you a series of quizzes to make sure you understand your very first Shakespeare. So you need to be a sport and try to be a spirited student today. Thank you. And not try to inflict any pain upon me. Thank you, ma'am.
16.
And you're on 15, but darn it, 16. But let me tell you where we were. Okay, my girl, Lady M. Your man has just told you through a letter that you are going to be queen because he met some weird sisters. And the weird sisters are what he and Banquo are going to like to call the three witches, that little coven. But that little coven might be small, but it is mighty. They work directly for Hecate, who works directly for the devil. And so far, every single one of their prophecies is correct. You are Thane of Worms. You are Thane of Caldor. And you are bound and determined for him to be king tonight. Okay? Yes, ma'am?
I thought that guy was queen.
No.
King.
No, not at all. Remember, Duncan is currently king.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Duncan, by the way, and according to history, not a bad king. There's not a lot of written history for most of the world over 1,000 years ago, and particularly not in northern Scotland nor Ireland. So we don't know much, but we do know that when it came to Duncan leading Scotland, and when it came to Banquo not leading Scotland, but all of Banquo's sons and grandsons for generations leading Scotland, Scotland actually had generations of peace. No warring. Of course, you have to deal with Viking raids every once in a while. That's to be expected. But for the most part, these were good kings. And now Macbeth, because he is quite selfish, very greedy, he wants that crown for himself. And he realizes that it's going to happen because he believes in what the devil has told him through the devil's minions, by the way. I don't know if you know this, but Disney Pixar named a whole group of people that you probably have something at home called a minion. Minions work for the devil. Did you know that? Thank you, Disney Pixar. Did you have a question? Oh, are you sure? All right, Lady Macbeth. Okay, you also just found out that, let me go back one more time because we had to interrupt you. Your attendant, your helper just told you that our Thane is coming, your husband Macbeth. One of my fellows had the speed of him, who almost said for breath and scarcely more than would make up his message. So you've just heard that your husband is on his way home, and you've just read the letter. That's where we are. Okay, Lady M, can you start up at the top with the raven himself?
And where the raven himself is first. The croak, the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlement. Come your spirits that tend on mortal thoughts and sex.
You actually have a few uncomfortable words. If you don't want to say them, I'll explain them. I'll say them, and the explanation is going to be crazy.
Okay, can you explain that one?
Okay, she says, come you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts. Yeah, mortal, not immortal. Immortal means you live forever. Mortal means I can kill you. And you say, unsex me here. One of the themes with Lady Macbeth, you're right here, front and center, Hampton, say, let's act right. You always thought that, yeah, you might be, and she was considered to be a beautiful woman because she was real. But you've always had the heart and soul of a man. And this is at a time when no one looked at you since you were female and thought you could have any power. But you know more than Macbeth. You can do more than Macbeth. And for you, you think that because he is so great is really because of what you've done. So you're tired of being looked at as a measly woman. You're like, I wish I could just be a guy for a day. Because if I could be a guy for a day, I could really change things. Really change things. Now, my husband likes to say controversial things. So here's his political for right now. He has always said, he's very Scottish, by the way, my husband, Tivis Colley Sutherland IV, very Scottish, and this is very near where he's from, Inverness. He always says, when I say I'm teaching Macbeth, he's like, oh, you're teaching the Hillary and Bill Clinton story. Because if you're familiar with that, most people believe that, yes, Bill Clinton was very smart, but Hillary, his wife, the First Lady, was smarter.
Ooh, I like
So
that.
he's always considered them Lady Macbeth and Macbeth. And coming from a Scotsman, I feel like that's important to say. So do y'all understand what she's talking about though? Because it's about to get weird. She feels like she has the heart and soul of a man. Like, I am powerful. I could be queen. Like, I don't need a king. I could be queen. I could run this joint. But nobody will let me because I'm a girl.
Oh.
All right, so you can skip that line if you want, but it gets weirder. So whenever you want to stop, just let me know and I'll say it.
And fill me from the crown to top, full of direst equality, make sick my blood. Stop the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctions, visitings of nature shake my sole purpose, nor keep between the effect in it.
Want me to? You say, well, actually, I'm going to go for a little bit. And y'all actually listen to it because this gets crazy. Come to my woman's breast and take my milk for gall. I think you can do the rest there. You're murdering ministers, where your slightest substance, you wait on nature's mischief. Come sick night, and tell the dunnest smoke of ATL double hockey stick. Cool.
That need knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peek through the blanket of dark to cry.
You don't think any of this is going to happen, and you want to make your husband king tonight. You're like, wait a minute, we can do this. I'm going to make this happen. Oh, that's right, I can't make it happen because, and this is just your attitude, okay? This is Lady Macbeth's attitude. Oh, I can't make it happen because I'm dealing with a bunch of men. You really don't think very highly of men at all. Like, that's your attitude for Lady Macbeth. And you feel the word here, the term, would be kind of railroaded, yeah? Because you have so much to say, you have so much power, you think at least to give, because right now, Lady Macbeth already kind of scares me. She's very power hungry. That you feel like you could be unstoppable if it weren't for men. So do y'all kind of get her personality there? All right.
Yeah.
So enter your husbands. All right, go for it, girl.
Great Glens, worthy Calidor, greater than both, by all hail hereafter. Thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now this is my future in instant.
And you're my Macbeth over here. Cool.
My dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
Okay, so the king is coming tonight.
Oh my gosh.
Now, can I just tell you, and I am not a Lady Macbeth the way she feels about men, but if my husband texted me right now and told me that a bunch of his friends were coming over tonight, I would cut him. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because when the king comes, he brings his entourage, girl. It could be up to 50 people. What? Go ahead, my baby girl.
And when goes him
Yeah, so how long is he going to be here? When's he leaving?
tomorrow as he purposes? Oh, never shall sun see morrow.
There's your plan. Look at it. Oh, when is he leaving? Tomorrow. Oh, never.
He will never.
He's not leaving tomorrow. Shall sun see that morrow? That shall sun that morrow see. He's not leaving tomorrow.
I'm scared now.
He is never going to see the sun.
He's never gonna leave.
Ever. Again. Boom. There's your answer. You have just told your husband we're killing him tonight.
Oh, she's so dark.
All right, go ahead. Because if you thought it's been weird, it's about to get weird. Go ahead, girl.
Your face, my vein, is a book where men may read strange matters to
Beguile.
beguile.
Kind of fill up your time.
Look like the time, bear welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue, look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent's under.
And can I stop you there because you have a lot to say, and that's really important. You're telling him to put on a different face tonight. You're telling him to be two-faced, really. Yeah? Which most of the time when you tell someone that they are two-faced or you tell them to be two-faced, I think that's taken in a wrong way. Typically, two-faced people, if I said someone was two-faced to you, you would think I'm calling them a liar. You know? But in a way, we all have many faces. Yeah? We tend to give a face to our friends, and the way we speak to our friends, it might be a little differently than the way we speak to, say, grandparents or our parents. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So we all have many faces, and I think that's actually part of hospitality. I think that it can be seen, you need to put that back on, Hampton. I think it can be seen as a good thing, right? When I'm not going to talk to you, well, actually I do kind of talk to y'all the way I would, like, my really good friends like Miss Clark or something. I probably do, which might be bad. But, you know what I mean? I would have said, I would have been a totally different person speaking to, say, my grandmother, you know, if she were around. Yeah, I definitely speak to my littles, the little ones, the 8 and the 9-year-old, however old they are, the scary ones. I totally speak to them differently, you know, than I would my 18 and my 19-year-old. I really do. But you, on the other hand, you're actually telling him to be a liar and two-faced, like what we think of being two-faced. You say, I want you to bear welcome in your eye. When you look at Duncan tonight, pretend like you're really welcoming him. Like, oh, we're so glad to have you here. And you want him to welcome him with your hands. You know, shake his hand, pat him on the back with your tongue. Use good words. Use your on.
Yeah, your tongue.
That was very immature. And when we say that, if you'd let me speak, then I would have finished by saying that it's what you say. But, okay. I want you to act innocent, but like a flower, but I want you to be the evil snake underneath that flower. Yeah? Because we're going to get him, and we're going to get him tonight. All right, girl, keep going.
His that's coming must provide for, and you shall put this night's great business in my dispatch, which shall tomorrow nights and days come and give solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
So, hold on. You said you shall put this night's great business. The great business is killing Duncan. You shall put it into my dispatch. I know that you may not want to do this, baby, but let me handle everything. With tonight's great business. I got this. I got a plan.
Are you sure?
Did I not? I'm sorry, I didn't turn the page. All right, now we're on 17. McBee.
McBee.
We will speak further.
Only look up clear. To alter favor ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
I mean, that's pretty clear English, pretty standard. Just leave all the rest to me. I got this. I'm far more evil than you. And right now, we don't need a good person in charge. You need an evil person in charge. I got this, baby. Okay? End of scene 5. So we're still in Act 1, a very unusually long act. You tend to maybe have 3, remember, to 5 scenes per act in Shakespeare. You always have 5 acts in a Shakespeare play. You always do. But now we're in scene 6, and they're changing the scene for us. So they may have drawn the curtain. Your people come on stage, take some stuff off, put some things on. It says we're still in the same place. We're still in Inverness, at Inverness Castle, where Macbeth lives with Lady Macbeth, who's clearly scary. But this time we're not inside the castle. We're before the castle. And you have these hot boys, these servants of Macbeth attending, probably some little boys trying to help with luggage and things like that, because you have the king and his entourage. The king has brought his older, he only has 2, son Malcolm, who's supposed to be king of Scotland one day, but not if she has anything to do with it. His younger son, Donalbain, they're just there. I don't believe they have speaking part. No, they don't for quite a while. Banquo, although, has a speaking part, of course. And Banquo, if you recall, is really Macbeth's equal when it comes to being a soldier. He is a general. They grew up together. They're best friends, lifelong friends. Lennox, Macduff,
he didn't
Ross, and Angus, and other attendants. These are people who work for the king. Who? My Duncan's over here, and Banquo, you're ready to go. All right, Duncan, if you would.
Wait, do I read like this castle?
We are reading the Shakespeare part, which you see to the left.
Wait, okay. This castle hath a pleasant seat, the air nimbly and sweetly recommends itself unto our gentle senses.
All right, thank you.
This guest of summer, the temple haunting marlet does approve, by his loved masonry that the heaven's breath smells, wingly here no jutty freeze buttress, nor coin of vantage, but this bird hath made his pendant bed and procreant cradle, where they most breed and haunt, I have observed the air is delicate.
Okay, it's very Shakespeare, and it's very thick Shakespeare. But honestly, you two are talking about the weather, how great it is, and oh, isn't this a pretty castle? Like, that's what you're talking about. All right, enter Lady Macbeth, looking all sweet, but she's gonna cut you. All right, Duncan.
CC, our
Honored.
honored hostess, the love that follows us sometime is our trouble, which still we think as love. Herein I teach you how you shall bid God ill us for your pains and thank us for your trouble.
All our service in every point twice done, and then done double. We're poor and single, business to contend against those honors deep and broad, wherewith your majesty loads our house. For those of old and late dignities heaped up to them, we rest your Hermione.
Okay, can I just tell you, like, you're telling him basically, oh my lord, I'm at your service. Don't worry about, bringing 50 people to my house with 1 hour's notice and wanting me to cook food for you. But you're still throwing some shade, because you said all our service, which is at your service. You're like, oh, we're just hermits compared to you, my lord, at the end. But you do say this: we're poor and single, business to contend against those honors deep and broad, wherewith, wait for it, your majesty loads our house. You're telling him, you just loaded up my house with people, but we're at your service. You just brought all these people here to my house, but I'm happy to take care of them. You're calling him on it, and you're still saying, in a nice way, I got this. You just brought 50 to 75 people here, and that's okay. Okay? See what I'm saying? So, he's still got some explaining to do and making up to do for you. All right, Duncan.
Where's the Thane of Caldor? He forced him at the heels and had a purpose to be his
Purveyor.
But he rides well, and his great love, sharp as his sword, hath brought him to his home before us. Fair and noble hostess, where are your guests tonight?
Have your servants ever, have theirs themselves, and what is theirs in common, to make their audit your highest pleasure, still return your own.
Give me your hand, conduct me to mine host. We love him highly, and shall continue our graces towards him by your leave, hostess.
I mean, she's still trying to be kind, but she's still not that kind. Because you're like, Duncan says up here, hey, where's the Thane of Caldor? I was trying to be his purveyor. We coursed him at the heels. But Macbeth was riding like the wind to tell her the good news that he was going to be king, according to the devil and his minions, the three witches, the weird sisters, whatever you want to call them. So, I mean, Macbeth was riding that horse like the wind. And honestly, Duncan and his entourage were trying to keep up, and they couldn't. Macbeth lost to them. And Duncan was like, oh, I was really hoping to take a leisurely ride through the Scottish Highlands with my cousin Macbeth. But man, he took off. Yeah, and you're like, I know. I know. You're kind of being you're not kind of, you are being a mean girl and you're trying to mind your manners, but you still can kind of see the shade of being a mean girl. You know what I mean? Because after he says that, you're like, just let me know what your servants need and all your people need. Give me an audit. Give me a list. I'll get it done. Bring it to me. I'll do it. And he's like, oh, can I go see my cousin? And you're like, yeah, come on this way. So you're trying to mind your manners, but we kind of see right through you. Yeah. Yeah. I bet he can sense that you're really annoyed that he's there. I mean, I would be. 15, all right, like I said, it is 2:45, and if my husband texted me right now that 30 to 40 of his closest friends are going to be at my house by 6 o'clock, I might run away from home. I might say, you better start ordering the pizzas now.
Like Pony Boy.
I might say, can we not call our friends at Casa Linda and just like get a room? Yeah. Can we all eat outside? Can we do this? And I just say bye, I'll pay for it. I might hurt him is basically what I'm saying.
Teacher, don't forget the teacher.